now Pablo is going to be joining you to let you know what's going to be happening next.
Thank you very much, Fat Boy. It's time to loosen up. Not so? Do you want another rap? Are you sure you want another rap? Huh? Alright, DJ, spoil the track. 1, 2, 1, 2, are we gonna run to? This is just the Pablo. Let me know one time. Here we go. Nasema katikara rapa nimezikara Karoa nsafi mpaka kwa ya mpakato Katana kwa mjeshi ya mboro Korona hawakoko wasoko ya mbiwe Yurna habana Habana bakenya Yena chungu Yena ya habana Habana bakenya Wanda nana rap Mpengwa ni karama zizire You know, some things in life I just had to explain. You know, that rap reminds me of my grandmother. You know, my grandmother is now 80. She finally quit smoking after 30 years. Yeah, she was smoking fish. So, I'm trying to see how to help her, you know. It's a job she learned from my grandfather. My grandfather was a great cook. He knew how to cook up stories whenever he was in a fix, you know. So I think he managed to woo her. But there are things about my grandmother that are very hard to understand. She had 13 kids in 13 years. Yeah, she believes in rush while stocks last. That's my granny for you. One time I asked her, why did you have to have all those kids? I mean, 13 kids. And she told me, look here, that was family planning. And I asked her, what kind of family planning is that? And she told me, you can't get pregnant when you're pregnant. I don't know if that method still works. Yeah? Her favorite musician is 50 Cent. I don't know if you know 50 Cent. You know those guys who sing like, wow, 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 yo, yo, wow, wow, wow. And you wonder why. It's because he reminds her of her first salary. It was just 50 cents. And that's why she's so stingy with my grandmother to give you her 500 shillings. There has to be a reasonable reason. I remember when I was in high school, she wrote a letter to me. She wrote very many things, and at the end she signed out saying, I would have sent you some money, but I've already sealed the envelope. How that works, I don't know. Yeah? Very interesting old woman, you know. She believes that Speaker and Grant are the ones who brought the European Union. Because you speak and they give you a grant. Yeah, those are some of the things. But however, there are other things that I fail to understand. You know, they're hard to explain. Like Morris told you earlier on about my village. My village is so remote, they even don't know that Michael Jackson died. But there are things about it that are distinct. One time my hen went missing, and in the village, you know, everything is about collective contribution. So my hen goes missing, I call my neighbor, help me, we look for the hen. So we looked for the hen and successfully failed. Until I told him, you know what, let's leave this hen, I think it was eaten by a dog. Before I could finish, he punched me, boom! Whom are you calling a dog? I mean, how do you explain such a thing? Yeah? Another thing I also failed to understand, I was in high school, in my primary 6, and I had a friend who was from a pastoral family. Now, people who look after cows, everything they think about is milk, cows, what? So my mathematics teacher asked him, if you have 15 cows, you go grazing, and the lion eats 5, how many do you take back home? The boy told the teacher, I wouldn't go back. He said, I mean, at home you lose just 1 calf and they cut off your hand, then 5 cows. So he had to reason it out. You know, it reminds me of the same thieves. In our village, the thieves are different. We have bold thieves. A thief walked up to me and snatched my wallet and just walked away. 20 minutes later, he came back and called me in the most local way. So I turned and looked at him, and now in my wallet I had Kenya shillings. He pulled out the money and asked me, this one for where? And I told him, those are Kenya shillings. He said, no, start carrying Uganda shillings, and threw back the wallet. What kind of thief is that? Then there's another one, I think he didn't know his job description. He came and put me on gunpoint and asked him what next. He told me, I don't know, I'm new at these things. So you can't understand such a thing, you know. And with all due respect, allow me to recognize the presence of the first citizen, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.